One more hour, and it'll be Thanksgiving Day. So I thought, let's bring that hour in right. Let's just go on and do a live stream, have some fun, talk whatever y'all want to talk about. Anything y'all want to talk about. I'm gonna drop the link into the chat, and anybody that wants to come in and ask a question, talk for a minute, whatever, I want you to do it. Come on in with us. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I've got John, our resident Michigan fan, hanging out in the back room with me. What's going on, John?
Hey, happy almost Thanksgiving, Joey, and everybody on chat here.
Yeah, man, almost Turkey Day. So tomorrow is the day that I spend like I did yesterday, and that was laid
Yeah,
back in my recliner sleeping. So I did that yesterday for a good while because I was just wore
there
out.
you go.
But turkey, man. After I ate my turkey, I've got to lay back and go to sleep. So anybody that wants to go live tomorrow night, I probably will miss the show.
Well, yeah. So what we're doing so I'm having it at my apartment, and so my mom's coming and my brother's coming, and obviously we'll have Gizmo, my dog, here, and I'm making the famous Diademo mashed potatoes, which is basically just a couple of sticks of butter. That's pretty much it. Um, I'm making the apple pie, which Marie Callender's makes a great apple pie, and some crescent rolls, and then they're making the Diademo stuffing, and some other good stuff, cheesy bacon dip. So we're just gonna bring it all together, have enough food for 50 people, and that's how
Well,
that's how we're gonna do it.
yeah, we were supposed to do something similar to that. So we had my son and his wife and their three children coming in for the holidays. So we were excited, because they live in Kentucky. We're in West Virginia. We got a son in Texas, a daughter in Kentucky, a daughter in South Carolina. We don't have any kids here near me. The closest one is 2.5 hours away in southern West Virginia. So we do have a son there. But
Okay.
he can't ever get away to get up here and stuff because he works so much. Well, so the son in Kentucky was coming in, and he called us yesterday, and his company will not let him off. He's got to be on call. So he's a master electrician, and the company he works for, in case of an emergency, electrical emergency somewhere, he's got to be on call for it. And he's right there in Kentucky, Cincinnati area. So just about every time he's on call, he gets called out. So he can't be 5.5 hours away, and here, he gets called out. So we're going to spend Thanksgiving just us and having some fun and
There you go.
talking and playing cards. That's going to be my wife and us Thanksgiving. We want to talk, play cards, have fun, and and be thankful. Exactly. We got Talker's Pit, man. What's going on, Talker's Pit?
Hey, Joey.
Happy Thanksgiving, buddy.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you too, and the other guy in the StreamYard. Have no idea
Hey,
who the
Yeah,
hell you are.
hey, Talkers Pit. Hey, I'm John.
that's
Nice to
that's
meet
one
you. Are
good
you a
John.
West Virginia fan, unfortunately?
I'm a Michigan fan.
Oh, well, I hate you anyway.
He, he's the bottom half of the Golden Blue. You're at the bottom.
Yeah.
He's right there with you. We're at the top. So
Well, Golden Blue dude wishes he was me. It's the other way around.
I tell you, you Pitt fans, I love all of you, but boy, y'all are delusional.
What do you
Hey,
mean?
Yeah, y'all always think you can convince a West Virginia fan to become a Pitt fan.
Well, I mean, it's not like you guys don't pull the same crap either. So, I mean, I mean, you
Yeah,
know how
but
many West
we
Virginia.
win, we conquer, we managed to do it. Hell, half of Pittsburgh's West Virginia fans.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's not just West Virginia. There's Penn State. Then you got to add in the two other colleges that are actually in the city of Pittsburgh that have football teams. That's
Yeah,
Duquesne and Robert Morris.
yeah. I
yeah, one of my. So I actually grew up in South Central Pennsylvania.
Oh,
So one of
okay.
my so one of my good friends is actually a Pitt fan and and a Steelers fan and grew up in Pittsburgh. So
Yeah,
So
Pittsburgh's
one thing in the chat. One thing in the chat. I want everybody to tell me what you're thankful for.
yeah.
Just type that in. What you're thankful for this year. It could be college football related. It could be coaching change. It could be that your mom's coming to visit you. After a 3-year absence. Whatever. Just be what are you thankful for? I'm gonna get out there and real quick and see.
We got a question in chat.
Thankful. Muskie John looks like he's thankful for people coming in.
Yeah, well, we got a question in chat about Neil Brown that you might chime in on. Yeah.
All right. So Mike King says Mountaineer Paul was on earlier, and he said that ESPN is claiming Neil Brown is going to be here for another year. I want your take on that. Okay, I'll give you my take on that. So my take is he's staying. He's going nowhere. The Western University has already announced that Shane Lyons was fired, of course. And then they came out with a statement a couple of days later and said Neil Brown will remain our coach, and a new athletic director will decide, make his decision after evaluation. So an athletic director probably will be hired in a couple of weeks. It'll be the end of the season, a couple of weeks, and new athletic director will be hired. By that time, signing day is going to be here, close to it. And so Neil Brown's going to sign his recruits. I look for the athletic director to give him another year. So I think he'll be here through the 2023 season. I don't know. I mean, you just according to who you hire, how much guts they have to hold that class together if they, because it's a top 30 class. So we have to hold that together.
Well, I mean, you're in jeopardy of losing Rodney Gallagher. He's taking a visit to Penn State and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Well, he actually, he tweeted that out that he was going to take a visit to Penn State. And I said, if he flips, it'll be flipping to Notre Dame. But then he came out and he said he's going nowhere so long as Neil Brown is still our head coach.
Oh, yeah.
So Jonathan Angel says, Happy Thanksgiving, go Blue and go Lions. He must live around Detroit.
What, Detroit Lions?
I guess.
Hey.
Mark Kern.
I'm a Packer. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan.
Oh, that's wow.
Mark
So
Kern
no
says
love
he's
for the
thankful that
Steelers?
Kansas extended Lance Leipold through 2029. You know what? I'm gonna tell you what, for Kansas, I'm thankful for that too, because I was wondering if you guys were going to jump a hold and grab hold of him before somebody came and stored him away. I was hoping West Virginia would get him before you done it, but
yeah, I think this is one of Kansas's best days in their football history. I think that they have had a long track record of mediocrity and absolutely terrible performance. Lance Leopold comes in, institutes a winning culture, institutes a culture of accountability, and unlike what happens in a lot of these situations where the coach gets hired away a year in, 2 years in, whatever, Kansas did the deal to keep Lance Leopold at the school. I think it was great for him. Obviously, he's going to be making a lot of money, and great for Kansas to keep a head coach that actually knows how to win.
That's a team I'd love to play in a bowl game.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So Jim Thompson says, thankful I'm alive to see the day.
Absolutely.
We have Devil Dog here, and he says, I'm thankful for every day I wake up on the right side of the dirt. Yeah, exactly.
I'm thankful for having the opportunity to have gone to Michigan this past Saturday and go to the big house and see my Wolverines play. But now I'm thankful for being back in Florida in the 70-degree weather and not freezing my ass off.
It's not that cold up here in Pennsylvania. It's not. It's about 50 degrees right now.
That's nice.
My phone is going off, and it's over here behind me. Let me grab it real quick, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, we actually just basketball team just played Michigan and got their ass whooped, really bad. I didn't expect us to win that game. I didn't even think we were going to keep it as close as we did. But we kept
Michigan's
it.
been up and down. You know, we look kind of bad against Arizona State. So
Yeah, but we're not. We returned 2 starters from last year, and one of them has been out all year up until yesterday. And we're not one of those teams that has chemistry and experience. That's going to take all year to do. But we actually did, as far as basketball goes, we do have for next year the second ranked recruiting class in the ACC behind Duke. That's even over North Carolina, which by the way, we've beaten North Carolina 3 out of the past 4 meetings, and yet they're supposedly the greatest.
One thing here. So Jonathan's asked me where Golden Blue Dude is. I'll tell you, Golden Blue Dude's made. Did he make 3 videos today or just 2? I think he made 3. Put out 3 videos.
He's still sick,
and he's sick. He's not feeling good, and he was going to go live tonight. And he finally messaged me like about 8:30 and said, "I've been trying to get it up to be able to go live because he just can't hardly move. He can't. He's so sick. So he just decided that he would just take the night off." And I told him, I said, "Well, I might go live anyway and hang out with everybody, just do a hangout screen. Hey, I know everybody's here to talk football with Golden Blue Dude and stuff. I appreciate you being here. Those that do stick around with me and stuff. And the biggest thankfulness that I've read so far is this one right here. And that's from Jim Thompson, who says, 1 month ago, I died on our praying table and was brought back. So I'm sure he's thankful for that.
I'm thankful the Backyard Brawl is back for the foreseeable future.
Here we go. Steve Moser says he's thankful that he's much more intelligent than Paul Feinbaum.
I think a lot of people are much more intelligent than him.
Yeah, everybody is. Alan Aaron says thankful for his family. Yes, sir, that's right.
Paul Feinbaum is one of the worst analysts I think that we have in our country. I think he is really not great.
Let's see what Nightbot is thankful for here. Nightbot is thankful. Oh, yeah.
Hey, just think of it this way. It is now 62-40.
Yeah.
That's how many right. The Backyard Brawl's not even close as far as wins and losses. We have 62 wins, West Virginia has 40. Yeah. And now 38-31 is the 38-31 is the new 13-9.
Just out of curiosity, do you know what the record is in basketball in the Backyard Brawl?
I'm pretty sure you guys have a commanding lead because that's not something I know in basketball. A lot of people consider it the Backyard Brawl, but it's just it doesn't bring the intensity that football does.
It kind of did this year.
Oh, it did. That was the first.
It kind of did.
Yeah,
but unfortunately,
that was
the game didn't live up. The game didn't live up to the hype, though. Really, because
no,
I mean, I'm not talking bad on you, but we blew you away.
Oh well, we're not good. We're not there as far as basketball talent goes. I mean, next year maybe because we have a great recruiting class. But that doesn't mean anything unless you actually produce results. I mean, I've seen even in football, great teams, Miami, have great recruiting classes, and absolutely failed. Middle Tennessee, sorry.
Mazur Sensitive says they're thankful. Pitt fans are all thankful for thankful for the W4-7 season.
Yeah. Oh, yes, we are. We are very thankful for that. We'd like to thank all West Virginia Mountaineer fans for believing that your team could suck because they do. We're going bowling and you're not.
Remember the Backyard Brawl and how close it was to being the other way around. And then we'd be 5-7.
It's
and y'all
true.
Talk trash.
oh, definitely. If you guys would have won that game, you would be 7-4. That's what we are right now. Yeah, I think you guys would be 7-4, not like playing like how we were in 2017 when we beat Miami because we had nothing to lose. That basically that's how West Virginia should go into this upcoming game, is like they have nothing to lose because you don't.
No, they don't have anything to lose, but they don't have anything to play for either. So you don't know which
Yeah.
side's going to show up. So,
Yeah, that would piss off a lot of West Virginia fans. You finally decide to show up the last game of the season.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a
see.
general statement about the screen name. Mods are sensitive, so I don't know if you've been around YouTube and you've been on non-college football streams and you've seen all the things that get deleted and people getting timed out. And I would say, are like for this, and then also Voice of College Football, thank a mod sometimes, because I'll tell you what, we let like almost everything in. Like we keep our flag in the pocket almost all the time. I'd say 99.9 out of 100 times we're saying accept, because Google flags like so much stuff that they shouldn't. And so people
you
don't
even
realize
have a clue that when you send your message before it ever gets to a mod, YouTube gets it. And sometimes they'll flag it. And a lot of times there'll be so many flags that mods will miss one or two. And then that comment never reaches in. So they think a moderator has taken it out when they really haven't. They just didn't get to read it, because we was in Mark Rogers a couple of weeks ago. There was 700 and some people. The chat was going crazy. And every comment was flagged, I swear. And the only mod that was in there time was me and you, John, wasn't it? Just me and you.
It was just us.
I think it was me and Tony. Me and
you. Tony came. Yeah, Tony came in for a bit, but yeah, it was.
Said, get your ass in here. Yeah.
Yeah, we needed help. Like all hands on deck.
It was just me and John, and so we decided that we just took turns showing messages. Problem was we couldn't get to all of them, so a lot of them got biased. So, and then they think, well, the moderator didn't put my message up, and that's just not how it works. Now, and I realize in here chat, I don't even know how many moderators I got in here right now, but in this chat here, it wouldn't be hard to keep up with. But imagine if you have 700 of you. Traveling fools, my friend. What's going on, buddy?
Traveling fools.
What's going on, guys? What y'all up to?
No, not much.
Nothing.
Long time no see. It's like when did we last see each other? Oh wait, 20 last night.
It's been a while since I've talked to you as well.
Oh, I was being sarcastic, but it might have been a while for you.
No, it has. I think the last time I seen him on my channel, because he is subscribed to my channel. I don't remember.
I don't know. It's been a while. I've been super busy lately, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to jump on any streams or any of that kind of stuff. But
and speaking of that, if you're in chat, hey, look up Talker's Pit. Give him a sub, man. Give him a sub. Talker Pit's a good guy. And
I'm making my way back to YouTube.
You're going to change some things on your Talker's Pit channel for off season. What did you tell me? Was that you telling me that you was going to change some things here in the next week or two?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna since I missed a lot of the season for the incident that that happened, Joey, at the amusement park.
Right.
Because I missed a lot of those videos. What I want to do now is start making more basketball videos, even though I hate basketball. I didn't play basketball, even though my real first name is Jordan. I suck so bad they picked me after the white kids. But yeah, so I'm going to start doing basketball because the women's basketball team is doing very good. They're undefeated right now, which is the first time in program history that they've started out 5-0. The basketball team is looking up. So I was like, you know what? Let me venture into another sport I really know nothing about.
Yeah, that's all right. You don't know until you jump in, right? You don't have any idea.
Yeah, just like a shark-infested pool.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. You just jump right in. Jump right in. It's always good.
That's the best way. That's the best way to describe some of the comments and emails and messages I get. It's like shark-infested YouTube. That's
right, and it's always better to chum the water first too.
Oh yeah.
Get it good and bloody and jump right in. See what happens.
Oh yeah. Come out looking like Lieutenant Dan.
Right.
I liken it to if you've ever cleaned a swimming pool out by jumping in, and you're literally taking all the the moss and the crap, and you have a couple people in there with the buckets or whatever, and they're taking the stuff out of the pool. It's kind of like that before everything gets taken out. That's what it feels like sometimes.
So Jonathan Easel, no, not Jonathan. Sorry, I picked the wrong one there. Mark Kearns is asking me, Joey, if Georgia loses to Georgia Tech and LSU, does UGA make the playoffs? Absolutely. If they lose to Georgia Tech, they're not making the playoffs. Probably. I mean, seriously, look how they drop people sometimes. And if they lose to Georgia Tech, because they're 30,
they are not losing to Georgia Tech. I'm sorry,
they're not losing to Georgia.
Yeah.
If they do, they
but
would
if they do,
first
no,
place, probably 7th, and then
no, that would be
LSU.
That would not be considered a quality loss.
As much as we can hope and pray that they lose to Georgia Tech, it's just not going to happen. I mean,
LSU may. I mean, there's a higher.
That'd be a great Uncle Lou video if Georgia Tech beat Georgia.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
I wouldn't even take the 34 points. I mean, I would take Georgia straight out. Take the 34 points. I mean, because they're going to beat them by probably 45. So
Georgia Tech they do have some good upsets. I mean, they beat us, even though we were out 12 starters, they still beat us. And they beat North Carolina again for the second year in a row. But North Carolina ain't Georgia. Georgia will roll over North Carolina and make them look like a bowl of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
So let me ask this: any upsets this weekend? You think?
Would Miami really be an upset?
Because it's rivalry.
Miami.
Rivalry week.
No, I'm not even. Talk is Pitt. I mean, we're going to destroy you guys, but I'm talking about something else. I'm not talking about upsets.
Yeah. Okay.
I think.
What happened with Middle Tennessee? Tennessee.
Man, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. It's only, dude. It's only like 4 weeks until we're back. So just chill, everybody. Just chill.
or 20 years when like 2017, and then you blew it against us.
Oh jeez.
So I think Michigan is going to upset Ohio. So Ohio State's favored by seven, I believe.
Who they playing? So, Michigan.
Yes, we have the game. Michigan versus Ohio State, and I do think you'll check out the D4 Sports Show for the official score prediction. But I'm feeling pretty good about my Wolverines. Once I went back and looked at the tape from some of the earlier games and the play calls that they did in Hawaii and Connecticut that we never saw again. I think those are coming back. Same thing with, I think our best tight end that we have left is coming back, Schoonmaker. He actually knows how to catch the ball, unlike some of our other receivers. So that'll be really helpful because we actually need somebody who can catch the ball. Can't just run it down Ohio State's throat. They're going to be ready for that. But
what about
your running back injured?
So Corum had a bruised leg. As a result of the so I was there obviously at the big house, and I saw it. There was a lot of uproar when it happened, and JJ got down and did the kneeling thing, and I was like, oh crap, this could be bad. It could be ACL, I don't know. But then he came back, right? He came back under his own power after the half. He came back and ran a couple of plays, and then obviously they kept him out the rest of the game. But he was back in, and then we saw him give out turkeys, and he was walking. So I think he'll play. He might be limited, but I think he'll play.
I will say this. So some of the upsets I'm looking at this week, and I'm going to pick the upset. Now I'm going to take points in these games, and one of them is Michigan and Ohio State. I think Michigan's playing better ball than Ohio State right now, so I'm going to take Michigan to win that game. But I'm going to take the points. I think Michigan's going to win it, but I'm still going to take points. Then when we talk about South Carolina and Clemson, South Carolina coming off a huge victory, is that going to carry momentum for them, or are they going to be wore out? Which ones will show up? But one thing about it, if the same team showed up last week, I think they could upset Clemson. But I'm leaving that game alone for that reason.
Yeah, I wouldn't put a dime on that.
Yeah,
I'm not touching that one either.
Kansas and Kansas State in the Big 12. Easy Kansas State to win that game. That's not even going to be a game. And then the same way with Georgia Tech. Georgia will win that game easy. USC Notre Dame, though. This is where it's going to be real interesting because I've been saying, I think Notre Dame's going to upset USC.
Go Irish.
And so
I got to say they're going to win. I think.
Me too. I hope they do.
I'm picking Notre Dame flat out, straight up, to beat Notre Dame or beat USC this week.
I'd go with that too.
That's where I stand.
But Joey, we both thought our teams might win a few more hits. I mean, maybe our judgment might not be that clear, but I would pick Notre Dame.
So
but what kind of Notre Dame team will show up though? Is it going to be the same Notre Dame?
I looked the other day. I've had 17 picks this year because some weeks I pick two teams or two games that are upsets. I've had 17 picks all year so far, and I've missed 4 of them. I've called 17 upsets, and I've missed 4. All the others have been upsets. I picked, for instance, Appalachian State to beat Texas A&M. I picked Liberty to beat Arkansas. I picked some big upsets. I'm not talking like these were small upsets. I picked some big ones. So, I'm 17-4.
I will say one thing.
I missed 4, so I'm 13 and 4.
On USC, I do think I pick USC because I predicted USC to go 11-1 before the season, and I would like my prediction to come true because I like it when my predictions come true instead of looking like an idiot. So for those reasons, I'm picking USC to beat Notre Dame 41-28.
I mean, I was going to bring that up too, but because what Notre Dame team is going to show up? Is it going to be the same one that lost to Marshall by more than 7?
No, I think that was early in the season. I think you gotta give the new guy. I mean, I know he was on the staff, but you gotta give them a couple of games. He's a good recruiter, and he's been able to recruit some 5-star talent to Notre Dame in short order. And now I think it's just about coming into your own, and they have been. They had an incredible win. And so I think they're looking good, but I think USC's gonna get them. I think USC just has the better quarterback. USC has the better passing game in general. I think they have the far better play caller. Like, I don't even think it's close. Everybody wants to fire their OC.
Where is that game at?
If it's in South Bend, then
USC
that might be
it's
at USC.
On field, though.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It says at USC.
I thought they played on neutral field or something, though. Don't they? They play in California. But I thought
it could say at USC just because USC is considered the home team. It might be a neutral field, but as long as Notre Dame isn't playing at home, I pick Notre Dame because they've sucked at home this year. So if they're on the road, then maybe so.
Saturday in Los Angeles.
It could be at USC too. I mean, I'm just thinking that for some reason I was thinking that game was a neutral field every year.
I mean, it makes sense that it could be.
Hey, talk is Pitt. I got to bounce here in a second, but what time is the Miami Pitt game? Do you know?
8 p.m.
Oh, cool. So it's actually at night. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what I love about it too.
Yeah, that's surprising, but yeah, I'm glad it's at night. I
can't stand the noon games. I hate the noon games.
They suck.
Because I work overnight. And these assholes expect me to be up in 6 hours. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Hey, Douglas Pitt, if you get a chance, go over to Traveling Fools channel and watch some of his shorts about like Miami football this year. They're so funny. Yeah. He's got the Benny Hill music playing, and Yeah, and got him chasing the ball around. It's so funny.
I keep
mean,
it
it's
fun.
hilarious.
I keep it fun.
Oh man.
Hey,
geez.
Traveling Fools, I know you got to get out of here, but I
Yeah,
know
I
you got
gotta-
a big
yeah, I
show
gotta
tonight,
bounce.
too.
You got your big stream coming up. Yeah.
Oh man,
What's
we're
your
gonna have
big
some
show
fun.
tonight?
Oh man, I got a hell of a guest coming on with me. We're gonna talk conspiracies, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh God.
Yeah, I got a heck of a girl that she won't disappoint. I promise you that. It'll be a lot of fun.
And she's very well known in that community, too.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. It'll be a fun Saturday night.
This
late night
sounds like
stream.
you're trying to set up a prostitution sting.
Yeah,
no,
that's true.
no.
That's an interesting way of selling it.
No, it's no. She's just really good. She knows her shit. It's gonna be fun.
Oh,
So-
you're not helping by saying that either.
I'm about to put so I'm about to put your channel. I'm dropping your channel in the thing.
You
here,
can just
so
type,
do that.
somebody can just type TF in the chat, and it puts a link to his channel up there.
Oh, sweet. Oh, that's even
Type
better.
in TF. Yeah. Just
All right,
type
guys.
TF.
Hey, Joey, did you see? I messaged you back on Twitter. That was a long message you sent me. But if you just make a Twitter post and send it to me, I'll retweet it on there for you. Then it'll
Oh, I
just put it
made
out
a
there.
Twitter post. It's on my page about it.
Okay, cool. I'll do that. I'll do that tomorrow. Shit at night doesn't go as
That's
far,
fine.
so I'll wait till tomorrow afternoon.
Damn. I didn't even know you had a Twitter, Traveling Fools.
Yeah, we got one.
Shows you how much I pay attention.
Huge one. He's got a huge following on Twitter.
All right, cool guys. Well, look forward to a fun weekend of football and happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there.
Yeah, happy
See you in 30
Thanksgiving.
minutes, man.
Yeah.
I'll be there. I'll
Gobble
be at
gobble.
Traveling Fools for 30 minutes.
Well, I know Joey
Sweet.
wouldn't miss a conspiracy show, so we might even talk about aliens, Joey. You never know.
All right. Yeah, why not?
All right, see you guys.
All right. See you later.
Yeah,
See what's going on over in. See what's going on over in the chat. What was that?
Y'all saw what I was doing, right?
Uh-uh.
You
I
see
didn't
what I
pay
was
attention.
doing? The canes down thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was flipping it upside down.
Well, we're lucky he didn't play the Canes music before he left, I guess. It's all about
Oh
the
my
music.
God. I don't want to ever hear that song in my life ever again. I'd rather
Michigan
hear
man, you have a
Michigan
good night,
fight
man.
song.
I appreciate you being here, Michigan man, and happy Thanksgiving to you too. And go blue. Yeah, go blue.
Yeah, go blue.
Jonathan says best college football show on YouTube. Now, if you're talking about when Go Blue Dude's here, maybe I'm not a host, but I enjoy doing it. Hey guys, I appreciate all of you being here.
Yeah.
Tyler Jenkins.
Yeah, this is the whole thing. I'm just
What?
What?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
yeah. This guy is.
Tyler,
I just don't
Tyler,
want
I
the
don't
whole
know who-
chat to be spammed with personal beef
Yeah.
and all that stuff. It's a Thanksgiving show.
Did you
Let's
get rid
have-
of it?
let's-
Did you get rid of that?
I'm trying.
Oh, I didn't know. Well, there's no need in it. It's fine. I just don't know.
Is somebody
why I would
talking
say
crap about me?
that. I don't know if it's you or John or me or Traveling Fools.
Well, I can't actually see the chat. I mean, I can if I click on it, but I don't feel like it.
The 10 subscribers gone. What the hell? If y'all ever want to photo of the nasty stuff he called the people of West Virginia. So he must be talking about you, talking a bit.
Yeah, it's just like, why do we need that? Like,
It's
I
give me
didn't
this
even
stuff.
see
It's
it.
just trash talk, Tyler. Tyler, it's just trash talk. He's a good guy. He's a heck of a good guy.
Who was trash talking me?
I don't know. I don't know if he's talking about you or what. I
hey
guess.
talk is pit.
Yeah. I hope your toilet overflows tonight. And how the U is never back once again.
I knew that was coming. I kind of knew it was coming. I knew it would come
Oh,
back in.
thanks a lot,
so-
Joey.
Yeah. Tyler, in all honesty, I don't know who said that, but I'll tell you this. I mean, we're obviously we're not all meth heads. I'm on here, but I can't go. I can't go to the store up here that I don't pass three of them. Three meth heads sitting on the side of the street. On
So
me.
that's
And I
everywhere.
live in a small town. It's bad, and I'm not talking bad on West Virginia because there's a lot of good in West
Yeah.
Virginia, but there's a lot of bad too. But
Yeah,
there's
Oh
the same
yeah.
thing in
Pennsylvania
Pittsburgh.
has.
Same
I
crap
know
in Pittsburgh,
Pennsylvania
man.
has a lot of meth. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Oh
was
my
right by like.
I live in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the city of Pittsburgh. So this is one of those neighborhoods you don't go out at night. And even during the day, it's like you're finding needles or drug use bags or people ODing on the side of the street. Like it's really not funny. It's not. People make fun of it all
Right.
the time. It's not funny.
No, it's not. It's not funny. And
Yep.
yeah, and I don't think Chalk was being meant to make fun of us and call us all meth heads. Really, seriously, he was just talking trash. It's
No, like
Pittsburgh game.
if I
You
look,
see
if
that?
I got, if
I mean, I
I,
tell you what.
yeah, if I call
Some of
you,
the
look,
comments I see from West Virginia fans are pretty
have been
bad
worse.
too.
Yeah, I look, if I'm calling a West Virginia fan a meth head or an inbred, it's not that I'm trying to insult you. I don't actually believe that about all West Virginians. Hell, I even love going down to Pinesville, West Virginia. That's a beautiful little town down there. I love it down there. So I do it because
Yes,
that's
Taylor.
just that's what we do in college football. Like you guys bring up attendance all the time, which by the way, we have beaten you at every single home game with attendance this year for the first time ever. Yeah, that's just what we do.
It just took us sucking, huh? It just took us
Yeah,
having a bad
it
team.
just took you guys to suck. Well, dude, even with the Rhode Island game, we had 56,000 fans at the Rhode Island game. I was there.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Tennessee probably brought in about 65,000 fans for the Tennessee game. I was there that one
amazed.
too.
I was shocked of all the sporting events that have gone on in Pittsburgh, and there's been some big ones in Pittsburgh. There's been some huge ones. That West Virginia and Pitt had the largest crowd in history to ever watch a Pittsburgh game, the city of Pittsburgh game.
Yeah.
That's hard to believe when you're talking about Pittsburgh Pirates, when you're talking about Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, the largest crowd in history to ever watch one of the games. That's unreal.
Well, there's two factors that play into that. One, the backyard brawl hasn't been played since most of us were still in high school. I mean, I graduated in 2008, and the backyard brawl was still played 3 years after that, but it's been non-existent for 10 years. Two, the Steelers suck. So, I mean,
but not always. But you got to think, not always.
Yeah.
I mean,
normally Tomlin has been fairly consistent until this year.
Yeah.
You think
everybody's blaming Kenny Pickett
back to the years in Pittsburgh, between Pittsburgh Steelers and whoever it may have been. I mean, there's been division championships played there and division playoff, and none of those topped the West Virginia Pitt game. That's hard to believe. I mean, Jonathan is saying in Pennsylvania, the largest sports crowd of the year was probably at Pocono, Pennsylvania. Yeah, in Pennsylvania. But I mean, what is there to watch a race? They can seat a couple 100,000 people at a race.
Those are a bunch of. Most of those people at the Poconos aren't even from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So I mean, but as far as Heinz Field, we're going to call it Heinz Field because I'm going to still call it Heinz Field.
Everyone is.
Yeah. First of all, Pitt played the first football game in Heinz Field when it was open, and we won that game. I can't remember who it was against. I think it may have been against Cincinnati back in the Big East days. I'd have to look that up. But other than that, even when the Steelers were doing good, they never really sold out. And because people are starting to realize how much more entertaining college football is in the city of Pittsburgh, especially when you do good. And even though we're not doing that good this year, historically, after a season like we had last year, we're already fighting to even get into a bowl game. We're already bowl eligible. We could win 9 games this season with the bowl win, and everybody's starting to realize that. And then there's the other half of Pitt fans who want our OC fired because they're morons.
Yeah.
They
Well,
actually
yeah,
they
you have-
want
you
Frank
have that.
Cignetti fired.
Hey, let me tell you what. Mike Joseph is our strength and conditioning coach at Western University. He's been with us since 2006, I believe. All right,
Yeah.
so he was with us through all those years of really, really good football teams, right? We were strong, we were healthy. So he's one of the best. I mean, NFL talent comes to him for training in the offseason. NFL talent comes to him for training before the Super Bowl. There was 4 or 5 Super Bowl players last year. They came to Mike Joseph for training before the Super Bowl. And there's
I know
fans
who that
hollering
is.
for him to be fired. There's fans hollering for Mike Joseph to be fired. Are they crazy? Mike Joseph's the best strength and conditioning coach in this country.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. We had no run game that hasn't been existent in 5 years. The last time we had a 1,000-yard rusher was when we had 2 1,000-yard rushers in the same season in 2017. And Pitt fans are like, if we don't throw for 400 yards and have a Kenny Pickett-like game, then we're not doing good. But we don't have the tools to do that. And Keaton Slovis is not – I can't say he's not that quarterback because a lot of the problems are not on him. They're just not. When your receivers drop wide open balls, what are you supposed to do?
Mark Kern says, Joey, Kansas State has a Big 12 championship game and a possible Sugar Bowl game spot. Meanwhile, Kansas is only playing for $3.46. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I've seen that. That's how much their tickets were.
And then we've got Mazur Sensitive says, Pitt versus Penn State 1 had the record for largest sporting event in Pittsburgh history before the West Virginia game. Now, I didn't know that either. So,
Oh, yeah, that is right. Because when we first started playing Penn State again. Now, see, that's a rivalry that is extremely underrated. And most people in Pittsburgh will tell you they hate Penn State more than West Virginia. Way more.
yeah, well, Penn State kind of has owned you guys, though, through the years.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, for years, but the series isn't really that far apart. I thought we were like 20 or 30 games behind, but we're only 10.
Right, but since, 1981, they've owned you. I mean,
Oh,
they've
yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
owned you.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Except that,
rivalry has never went away.
yeah, except that one year where we beat them in the 80s and won the, I think it was the Gator Bowl. It might have been the same year we beat Ohio State. In which, speaking of Ohio State,
that just makes me smile every time somebody says beat Ohio State or that time we beat Ohio State. I just get a giant smile on my face.
Well, it's going to be even better. It's going to be better, John, when I tell you that Michigan gave Pitt the second worst loss in school history back in 1961 when you guys 69'd us to nothing.
Yeah, we did that
You
sometimes.
assaulted us without our consent. You didn't even give us the chance to like brace for ourselves. And I wasn't even born yet, and I saw the replay of that game.
Yeah. So I don't know what's gonna. I mean, it's really tough to analyze this game coming up because there's so many unknowns. And the biggest unknown is who the hell's playing. We don't know. They don't. I mean, it's like nobody's saying anything because they don't want to give any info away. But like, all I can go on is I saw Blake Corum give out turkeys, and he seemed like his leg was okay. That's all I got. It's tough to analyze these things when you don't know if Schoonmaker's going to play at full strength, if Edwards is going to be in, if the only one we're pretty sure isn't going to be in is Jackson Smith and Jigba, because we're pretty sure he's going to be out until maybe if Ohio State makes the national championship game, he might play, but he's probably out so he can go first round.
Let's talk about that poll for a second. Let's talk about that poll for a second. Is there anybody on this committee that's not friggin' brain dead? I mean, why in the hell? How in the hell did you put LSU, a 2-loss team, up ahead all in one loss teams. I can't figure that out. because
SEC
the results on
bias.
the field, SEC
It's
bias. And the
SEC
only reason they've
bias.
done that,
Yeah.
is in case LSU beats Georgia in the championship, then they can just drop Georgia to 4 and move LSU up to 3, and say, okay, look at here, we got 2 SEC teams in, we're happy. That's the only reason.
Wow.
Yeah, Greg Sankey was, I think, trying to explain it, and we looked at USC and we looked at UCLA, and it didn't seem like their defense was real good. And I'm thinking to
They're
myself,
not.
wait, but Tennessee just allowed South Carolina 63 unanswered points.
Yeah.
And you're telling me about USC's I mean, I understand USC's defense isn't fantastic, but Grinch
Yeah.
actually has brought the defensive statistics up, like the overall
Oh,
defense.
yeah.
Every single year he's been at a program, except
Yeah.
for Oklahoma this last year, but every other year he's been in a program, the defensive overall numbers go way up from the year
Oh,
before.
definitely. Because I think USC had one of the worst defenses in all of college football last year. And I'm not giving Tennessee any credit. I tried to tell people that if Tennessee is so good, and I don't care how early in the season it was, Tennessee was talented enough to where they should have destroyed us by 4 touchdowns. That game should have never went into overtime with Pitt and Tennessee. And I tried to tell people one day, just like North Carolina, you're going to win one of these close games one too many times, and a team that you're not expecting is going to bite you in the ass. Hello?
Yeah.
South Carolina did it. Georgia Tech did it to North Carolina. Yeah. That's ironic.
The one thing they're not counting on, though, the one thing they're hoping doesn't happen is that Georgia beats LSU, which is going to happen. Georgia's going to beat LSU. And LSU going to have 3 losses. Then they're not going to have a choice but to start looking at USC. Now, listen, I know that there's this SEC bias, right? And then the last few years, it's been either the Big 10, the Big 12, or the ACC. The Pac-12 has been left out so much and not even considered worthy of a conversation. And honestly, they haven't. So this year, here they are, got USC, good team. Oregon, okay, decent team. UCLA, good team. All right. And then no respect still. And that's what the polls are telling me. There's no respect that they put USC way back there like that, drop them back behind LSU and stuff. I can't be. And Clemson, I mean, Clemson didn't get any respect. They've just got 1 loss, right? So, and they're behind. So it really surprises me. It really surprises me. And I don't think Clemson's a great team. Don't get me wrong. But I think USC's a pretty damn good team. Now, I still think, that Notre Dame is going to go in there and upset them. But that's just because I think Notre Dame's a good team, too. They lost
Clemson ranked?
Yeah. Yeah, Clemson's
Is Clemson ranked right now?
Yeah, they're 7th, 8th, 7th, or 8th. What are they?
Okay. I was going to say, I thought they weren't ranked for whatever reason. And that would definitely.
USC and Clemson, right?
Yeah.
Anyway. Let me look at the rankings here.
John, which Michigan ranked?
3.
Okay. I actually had them at 2. I think they deserve to be at 2.
Mark says, Joey, I think more unlikely. The unlikely scenario. Michigan wins out, USC wins out, Tennessee wins out, Clemson loses to UNC, LSU loses to Texas A&M, Georgia loses to Georgia Tech, LSU. Then who is in? All right, so if Michigan wins out, they're in, definitely. That's an automatic. Michigan wins out, they're in because they're 3rd right now, so they're not going to drop them for winning out. So they're in. USC wins out. USC needs help. USC's got to have some help to win out. Now, if Michigan State beats Ohio State, that'll help USC, but maybe not. And they might just drop them back to 5th or 6th and put USC at 7. TCU wins out. TCU's in if TCU wins out. They're 4 right now, so they're not going to drop them. Clemson loses to UNC. Yeah, that could happen. Clemson could lose to UNC. That's very likely. And if Clemson loses to UNC, they're out. They're done. If they beat them, they're right there with USC of possibly making it. LSU loses to Texas A&M. If LSU loses to Texas A&M, they're out. They're done. And if they beat them, then they have a chance. They can move ahead. Georgia loses to Georgia Tech. That's not going to happen. And LSU, that'll never happen. They lose 2 weeks in a row. Even if they lose one of those, so your scenario there is not going to happen. Now, y'all
Clemson's ranked 8, by the way.
Do you agree or disagree with any of that, John?
I was just putting up the score, the playoff rankings here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think just in general, it's going to be really tough for LSU to get in as a 2-loss team. Essentially, they would have to beat Georgia. I don't think that's happening. With respect to USC, they have to win out completely. And even then, there's still like a scenario where they don't get in, but they're pretty likely to get in at the 4 spot unless TC. I mean, then you got, what if there's here's the really crazy scenario. If there's an undefeated TCU, okay, you've got the winner of let's say Michigan wins the game. Ohio State still has that Notre Dame win, so they have that strength of schedule that's a little higher than Michigan's, even though Michigan won. But Ohio State would be a very, maybe it's a 3-point loss. Okay, it could be really tough if that stuff happens. But I think what's going to probably wind up happening in reality is I think TCU is going to lose, in the championship game. So they're going to be out because they can't lose at all. I think LSU is going to lose to Georgia, so that scenario is going to be out. USC, I think, is going to win. So in that scenario, USC would go to the playoff, and then you have to look at a potential Clemson. If they go undefeated, they could be in. So I think you're looking at Georgia for sure. I don't see any way to keep them out. Michigan, USC, and potentially Ohio State or USC is the number 4 in that scenario.
Hillbilly Septic, thank you for the follower super chat. Which victory does any top 5 Big Ten team have in the last 4 years that proves they could beat Georgia, Alabama, or LSU now? Well, you can't look at the last 4 years because teams change every year. So you can't look at last year and say, okay, Alabama beat Georgia in the SEC championship game, and then Georgia turned around and beat Alabama. So that same scenario will happen again, because it ain't going to happen because Alabama's not going to be in the SEC championship. You can't look at last year on anything and compare it to this year. You can't. And you definitely can't go back 4 years, because if you want to go back 4 years, let's say you go back to 2018, right? How good was West Virginia in 2018? How bad are they today? All right. So there's a big difference there. So you can't do that, I don't think. Now, can a top 5 Big Ten team beat Georgia, Alabama, or LSU? I would tell you right now, LSU would get beat by Ohio State, by Michigan, by Penn State. 3 teams right there that would all beat LSU. Alabama would be beat by Michigan and by Ohio State. They probably wouldn't beat Penn State, but I think they'd beat the other 2. Georgia would beat all 3 of them. Georgia
ain't losing.
Georgia's not losing, but I mean, you can't say top 5 Big Ten teams. Which ones today would happen? And you can't tell me that a 2-loss Alabama team and a 2-loss LSU team could beat Ohio State this year. We know Ohio State's probably been one of the better teams in the country. Michigan's not been too bad themselves, but let's face it, Ohio State's been a pretty dominant team. Not every game, but throughout the year. I think they're ever at the top of everybody's number one for quite a while. Not everybody, but a lot of people.
Yeah,
I
Ohio
noticed that
State and Michigan have
that's lame,
been
Joey. The point is the
strong.
program can't produce regardless of their draft classes. Most are Big Ten. And thank you for the $5 super chats, Hillbilly. And you know what? I'll let a Michigan man talk. I'll just let John.
Yeah, I
You
think okay. So there's been a lot of hate on the Big Ten recently. I understand that SEC has been the better conference. Like, there's no doubt about that. They have been the better conference on the field at the highest levels of the sport for the last 7-8 years. Here's what I would say though. This year it seems to be slightly different. Aside from Georgia, like Michigan and Ohio State both look like they're playing at the highest levels of the sport. Blake Corum's gonna be a Heisman finalist. CJ Stroud is gonna be a Heisman finalist. These are teams that have 5-star talent, 4-star talent, maybe not 35 stars that all got $1 million, 6-figure NIL like Texas A&M. And by the way, what was Texas A&M doing this year? But anyway, so I think that's not exactly true. I think if you're saying national championships, I would agree with you. They hasn't gotten
Now,
there yet.
another thing too. This is how I look at things too. Is like you could take one of the best Alabama teams of all time, or take LSU for instance. Let's just take Alabama or LSU, either one. LSU 2020, right? 2020 or 2020, and Alabama any of the last 12 years, right? So now let's look at this for a second. You can take any of those teams, you put them in the shoe, or you put them in the big house, or you put them in whiteout conditions at Penn State, and they're going to struggle to beat Ohio State, Michigan, or Penn State. It's going to happen. Now, would they win the game? Yeah, sure. Maybe most of the time they would, but there'll be like 20 to 30% of the time, Michigan and Ohio State's going to beat that good Alabama team, that good LSU team. So,
I mean, LSU 2019, I think, could beat almost any team historically except like a handful, like Miami 01, maybe, Nebraska 95, maybe. But that LSU 2019 team was special. And I don't see a lot of teams beating them.
Wants to know how your Louis Carr sticker's holding up.
Yeah. I'll tell you where the Lloyd Carr sticker is in a second, Hillbilly.
Well, I wonder, how's your Rich Rod sticker holding up? Just wondering. How's the Rich Rod?
You guys had the better end of this. Well, the thing, we talked about this, I think, on the one show, that Rich Rod didn't get to have his full defensive staff. Because one of them didn't come. And I think that might have impacted him. He didn't have all the defensive guys that helped him win in the past, and that probably impact. Offensively, did great. We had Denard Robinson running all over the place, but defensively, it was like there was this one game where we were playing, I think it was Illinois, and it was like 63-61. It's like where like the defense just decided to sleep in that day. I mean, it was crazy. So I think you guys got the better end of the stick on Rich Rod.
Super Skeptic says, if it's going to happen, why hasn't it? Okay, let me give you an example why it hasn't happened. Because
it did in 2014.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at how often does Alabama play Ohio State? How often does Alabama play Michigan or Penn State?
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at Auburn and say, okay, Auburn played Penn State. What happened in that game? Right? You could look at that and say, okay, Auburn played Penn State.
Penn State whooped. Yeah. Penn State whooped them. So,
and then you could say, well, Auburn's not a good team this year. Well, okay. Penn State wasn't a good team last year. What the hell does that make a difference? So let's look at it this way. Auburn's been good teams in the past. And if they got good again, you always say, yeah, they got lucky and beat us. Okay. If it was luck, then it can happen in any game. So could Alabama go into the shoe and lose 20% of the time? If they two out of 10? Yeah, sure could. Easily. Yeah. And I think Nick Saban would tell you the same thing. He would probably tell you that we could lose 100% of the time. So, and it'd be the truth.
Yeah.
There's been some good teams at Ohio State. There's been some great teams at Michigan. Been some great teams at Alabama, great teams at LSU, some great teams at Florida, FSU. Hell, there's been some great teams at West Virginia. We've done a thing one night, and I don't know if John was there. We done a little private stream one night in the Discord channel, and somebody had a graphic up there or a website that would allow you to play teams, really good teams, against other teams from any year. And we matched up 2007's West Virginia team against everybody else, and this was just this year. So every past national championship winner, West Virginia beat every one of them except LSU. So now that was who played for the championship between all those teams, was West Virginia and LSU. So yeah, I mean,
and you remember what happened in 2007?
Huh? Yeah.
You remember what happened in 2007, right?
Kiss it, bit. We ain't gonna talk about.
Oh man. Oh
yeah,
look, I was in high school.
An amazing thing about that. Let me tell you something. Something really amazing about that. And every time I talk about this, I think about how much there is between USC and West Virginia. Seriously, and if you look back through history, there's a lot of comparisons. So in 2006, USC was a 24.5-point favorite, right? To beat who was it? Who did they play? I'm thinking it's UCLA. All right. They were ranked number 2 in the nation, going to play for the national championship, 24.5-point favorites, and they lost 13-9 to UCLA. That was in 2006. Fast forward 1 year, 2007, West Virginia, 24.5-point favorites, the exact same spot over Pitt. We lost 13-9, ranked number 2 in the nation, and got knocked out of the national championship. And that's kind of a funny thing. That happened back-to-back years, 2006, 2007. But the one everybody talks about is 2007, because that was a crazy year. I mean, anybody that got ranked number 2 got beat that week. Anybody. You did not want to be number 2 in the nation in 2007. So, yeah, that's kind of an amazing thing that it happened back-to-back years, exact same score.
Oh, that was the great years of college football.
It was.
Not saying it's not great today, but in the 2000s, I felt the national champions or who played for bigger bowl games was more balanced out than what they are now. Meaning it wasn't the same team every single year playing for this bowl game or that bowl game or this title or that title. Everybody who was supposed to, or should I say, within the media's perspective, everybody who was supposed to play for the national title did not. Everyone who was ranked number 2, like you said, went down. And to me, that was the greatest year of college football. That's actually when I really started becoming a fan and stopped watching the NFL.
I have to get out of here because I've got to go over to Traveling Fools show. It's
Traveling Fools.
I might be there at midnight.
Conspiracy theory show. Check it out.
Oh, yes, God. Is he drunk again?
On Traveling Fools. It's going to be a lot of fun. It really is. So if you're in our chat, I invite you over to Traveling Fools channel. Now listen, there's 2 Traveling Fools. There's one called The Traveling Fools. It's not that one. If you'll type in TF in the chat, Nightbot will put the link up there. Get over to TF's channel and let's have some fun because we're going to talk some conspiracies. Talking Spit, last word, man.
Pitt plays Miami this weekend. We actually are a 7-point favorite in that game, believe it or not. And I think that's a little bit too high. But the Miami fans that I get along with, which is rare, because that to us is our rival. Miami is our rival because there's no other team in the ACC that we hate. None. So that's our rival. Yeah, so that's our rival. That is a legit rival. Miami and Pitt, that's a legit rivalry, not Syracuse and Pitt or Pitt and Virginia Tech. Those to me were never rivalries. Virginia Tech is more of a rival with West Virginia than they are with us. Way more, in my opinion. But
West Virginia, Virginia Tech's a huge rivalry.
Oh, definitely. But I think I actually believe I am more confident that we're going to beat Miami this year than last year, even with the squad we had last year. And
they don't have an
hopefully,
offense.
You'll beat Miami.
They don't have an
You'll beat
offense.
Miami.
yeah. And I mean, and plus they were held to what, 98 total yards of offense last week.
Yeah,
We've held 3 opponents to 150 yards or less this year. And we're back up towards the number 1 spot in sacks and tackles for losses. So I think we'll beat Miami. And to be honest, I honestly see a 14-point win.
Yeah,
I do.
Well, don't get me on a huge tangent about Gaddis, or Joey will never get to Traveling Fools show. But I have already been on tape many times talking about Miami's offensive struggles, and that this is Gaddis at his this is what he does. Just go back to 2019 Michigan versus Army if you want to see exactly what you're seeing here.
Yeah, or 2017 when Miami lost to Pitt.
All right.
That was a great year.
Listen, I appreciate you guys coming in and stuff. One Scoop John, look him up on Twitter. It's August 5th. Find him on YouTube. Everybody in the chat, thank you for being here. All the super chats, I appreciate it. I like the discussion too. And yes, Jason, W is king, always will be. Let's go Mountaineers, and
let's go Pitt. Let's go.